This game is just gross. Magnus Carlsen here is not playing some casual grandmaster. He's playing Grigoriy Oparin, the world number 70, US number 9, 2650 odd GM. He's over 3,000 rated on chess.com. He plays some opening trash, right? Look at these moves here. Magnus goes h5, move 1, knight f3, h4. This is his opening. And in a minute, he goes on to win in 21 moves. I mean, are you kidding me, Magnus? And at the end, I'll show you the result of the whole tournament as well. So, okay, this is how he decides to play. White snaps up the pawn, best move. Now Magnus does get e5 in, he's distracted this knight, so fine, he can fight for the centre. By the way, this is the title Tuesday, just played this evening. Now we get d4, white naturally challenges the centre, now the queen recaptures, and okay, at least Magnus does get some quick development, but after this check, well, now we see the bishop blocking and white is picking up the bishop pair. That's what we now see. So Magnus is a pawn down. He's lost his bishop pair. We see knight recaptures and now queen g5 targets this pawn and Magnus just ignores it. He goes bishop f5. You can see the evaluation bar on the left here. Computer does not like it. They want to capture this pawn. Call Magnus's bluff and say, show me what you got. Now the pawn wasn't captured. The second best move was played, which is knight a3. An ugly move, but you do have to defend this c2 pawn because Magnus has got ideas of hopping. And actually we can see some danger to what Magnus is doing here because white has spent quite some time in the opening here without actually developing a lot of pieces. Plus the knight is sidelined, plus the queen could be a target. And after queen d7, preparing to castle queenside, again the computer says you've got to capture this pawn and call Magnus out before he connects those rooks. Or it likes pawn to h4. But after bishop d2, preparing to castle queenside, suddenly the game is just level, right? We get castles, and now black is better. Out of nowhere, Magnus has just wrestled the initiative despite the opening. How does he do this, right? It's move 12. He goes f6 and white is in huge trouble already, if you can believe that. Because now you can't capture this pawn, or queen e6 is this silent deadly move. You cover this pawn, it can no longer be captured, and rook h7 is a huge threat. If Magnus had never actually pushed that pawn, then the queen does have options to slide away, if you imagine a pawn on h7. So it's really interesting how chucking that pawn has actually now given him this huge activity. So the pawn on g7 is immune. So instead what we see is the queen retreating, but now you're running into d4. Magnus has the centre, the initiative, the piece play. And after queen to b3, very natural, we get bishop e6, hitting the queen, and here the computer wants to go pawn to c4 as the top move. But which human plays this? Because after captures en passant, captures en passant, you see bishop takes, and here you're actually chucking an exchange. Because after bishop captures, rook captures here. When the smoke clears, black is an exchange ahead, and white's had to compromise the pawn structure. So we didn't see c4, but technically best. Queen a4 was played, but now look at this. Queen d5, and you are toast. The rook in the corner here is unprotected, but there's also this huge threat to take on a2, attack the king. And so the computer says you should do this. So that after this, you've got this, and still black is better, but okay, white can fight a bit. But what we see played is f3 to save the rook, but now Magnus crashes through, and this king is in a world of pain. Now there is a threat here to check. After knight b1, you could then take this queen on a4. I mean, you'd be on a1 actually. So you have to actually defend that queen, which is played. Very ugly move. And this bishop now switches diagonal, targets the c2 pawn. And what to do as white? You've barely even got moves. The top move is played here, which is pawn to h4. It's almost ironic that this is one of the final moves before the death of white. They play the move which Magnus played earlier, But this time it is not helping, because here comes the cavalry centralizing. We see bishop h3 connecting those rooks, bit of development, challenging this super strong piece. So Magnus takes, the rook recaptures, and now knight c3, and the white monarch is about to get deleted. What do? There are huge mate threats. One mate threat is knight takes on e2, check and mate, because the queen covers the square. You're also threatening to go queen a1 check. After the knight blocks, then you deliver the mate. So you just can't live with the knight. The bishop captures, but now you're getting lollied on these dark squares here, using the pawn. The d file is also cut. It's just criminal, this white position here. How do you not punish that opening? Well, it's Magnus Carlsen. He makes you look stupid, right? So what do you do here? Well, we see resignation. 0.7 of a second on the clock. 21 moves of carnage. Oparin will look back at this game and go, what the hell? How do I lose to that opening in 21 moves? This guy's insane. Now, why the resignation? Well, you're about to get mated. Like said, it's mate in 4. The way to stave it off for the longest is this, then go check, give up your queen just for some fun, and then here play b4, play any move you like, then you're getting checkmated. So this is just absolutely brutal. Magnus Carlsen then went on to jointly win the event with Jeffrey Zhong. Now, I don't actually know the full details of Title Tuesday. I think they go to a tiebreak. Maybe someone can let me know in the comments. So I don't know who finally won the whole thing. But anyway, Magnus finished joint top with Jeffrey after 11 rounds. I hope you enjoyed this one, short and sweet. Do hit subscribe to never miss a future epic video and see another great game of chess. Check out the video on screen, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks very much for watching.